Hi, students. My name is Amy Bencomo, College and Career Center Specialist, for those who don't already know. And I decided to go ahead and record our essay writing workshop since some of you had missed it and we were having a little bit of Zoom issues that day. So to begin, when you're writing an essay for college, it's going to be a little bit different than when you're writing an essay for your English class. So we're going to go over a few pointers to help you hone those skills and make sure that the best version of you is seen by those college admission officers. So to begin with, don't sweat over things you can't change. This is your senior year. You have done the work, most of the work already. So your transcript, it is what it is. Work on what you can change, which is the essay. So a student can really set themselves apart with a good essay. Colleges want the essay to show your writing ability, ability to communicate, and your voice. Who you are, you, how you think, your values, preference, and style. All of this will show with your essays. So the big question is, can you write? Well, it's a narrative. You're going to want to tell your own story. You will want to ask for feedback, and that's where you can turn to myself or any other adult who has experience with reading college essays. You want to make sure that you add that polish. You make sure that you spell check and proofread. Read it out loud. That's the best way to proofread something. These essays will demonstrate if you can think. So your application can be flat without a solid essay. And your essay can help judge your understanding of social and intellectual issues. Did you take it seriously, or does your essay look predictable? Did you take risk? Did you buy it off the internet? Did your parent write it? And on that note, if your parent wrote it, usually it's pretty easy to spot. So we love our parents, but they have a tendency to try to write like a teenager when our teenagers write like adults. So that's why it's easy to spot. What's most important? Well, you. That's what's most important. So you're the only person who's been with you your whole life. You are the authority on who you are. So absolutely use your voice. You are enough, and make sure that that's portrayed in your writing. What can the essay do for you? Well, it can personalize your self-presentation, show your personality and ability to write, convey your personal style under less pressure. It should convey information not found elsewhere in the application. So what that means is you don't need to itemize all of your extracurriculars because it's already listed. You don't need to say that you're a straight A student because it's already listed on your transcript. And when you're writing, you also want to be compelling. You want the reader to be engaged. So you are interesting. Just make sure when you read it that you know other people will see that too. So no need to panic. You have done this before. It's a familiar structure. There's an introduction, a body, and conclusion. And it's about you. You're the expert. And there's no wrong answer. There is absolutely no wrong answer because they ask questions that they want to know only from you. So really focus on your responses authentically. Don't try to give them what you think they want to hear because they only want to hear the truth from you. So the process, how do you even begin, right? So you want to brainstorm, you want to organize those thoughts, write it all down. And you can even use your phone and use the voice command and start talking your ideas out. After you write it, you're going to rewrite it and you're going to edit. And you're going to ask for feedback to make sure that all that polish is there. So something that is important to understand is that we are defined by our choices. So how you write reveals your ability, but what you write about reveals you. So look at the list of questions required. And here's the list of questions. I'm not going to go through all of them because you will be able to see these on the Common App or personal insight questions, but you get to decide what you want to write about. And be careful about being too generic, too general, too boring. And I'll read you an example of that. In college, I plan to continue to live a well-rounded life, meeting and working with people from a variety of backgrounds. I expect to prepare for a profession that permits me to be closely related to children as well as adults. I want to help people. I've gotten so much out of life through the love and guidance of my family. I feel that many individuals have not been as fortunate. Therefore, I would like to expand the lives of others. Well, it's well written, but it's general and generic. So you can be specific. This is about you. You want to make sure that what you write, no one else can write. So why do essays fail? Too comprehensive. You try to put too much information into 650 words or 350 words, and you're not able to grasp the meaning that you're trying to convey. So you're putting too much in there. Or you're too general, you're vague, you're not really on touching anything concrete. It's not about you. A lot of times when we try to explain ourselves, we keep stepping back and like, well, but now I need to tell you about my grandmother, or, well, I need to tell you about this situation so that you understand the bigger picture, which is me. No, focus on you and understand that these admission officers will know what you're talking about. If you say, I was close to my grandmother, that's probably enough. You don't have to explain why, because almost everyone has a grandmother and we know what those relationships are like. So don't try to fit everything in. Really keep it on you. And being too general, we already talked about that. Add those specifics. Give an example. Why do you like people? Why do you like children? Name something specific. Why is that? Those are the questions you have to answer. So make it personal and then definitely edit. There's too many essays that are given to colleges and given to adults at your high school for proofing that haven't been edited yet. And that's such a big distraction when you're seeing words that aren't capitalized that should be, or there's missing punctuation. So this is important to you, and make sure that everyone who reads it knows that it wasn't done at the last minute. Okay, so start by brainstorming, make a list, ask questions, focus, improve it. Remember that editing is your friend, so focus, improve, reread, support those points, reread, and rewrite and revise. This is where that polish comes from. So making the essay yours. All writers get help. Don't ask for live-in editors. And what I mean by live-in would be your parents. Probably older siblings are okay because they've probably gone through college admissions before and maybe have an idea of how you can better portray yourself. Don't misrepresent yourself, meaning do not exaggerate or mislead what you're saying. Go ahead and say the truth because you are enough. You don't need to misrepresent yourself or try to feel that you need to add information that you think they will like. There, there's a way that actually shows through in your essay when it's not authentic. So the number one thing though is believe in yourself and tell your story. Last minute tips for procrastinators, and we all do this, and sometimes we need a little bit of encouragement when those deadlines are approaching. So if you're looking for inspiration on how do you write about yourself, how do you come up with a personal statement, look around your room and pick 3 items. Those 3 items, if you're able to describe why they are important to you, then maybe you're able to describe what is important to you. It might be a cherished memory. It might be something that inspired you to pick up a hobby, or maybe it's part of the focus of your academics that you're just pursuing. So just think about what occupies your personal space and how does that define you. Look at your family item. What are those memories that you most cherish? Talk to your parents, coaches, and teachers. They're all big fans of yours. And so if you're wondering about, okay, I need 3 descriptors to describe me, I bet you they could come up with 10. Think about something you used to believe in but don't anymore. That's a tricky one, and that is going to promote some deep thought there. Have someone interview you and have them write down keywords or ideas of phrases, and sometimes maybe even record yourself, because basically these essays or personal insight questions are interviews. You are being interviewed for this college. And if you can describe yourself, then basically you're providing an excellent interview. And so maybe if you think of it that way, it will help your writing and make it just easier and hopefully enjoyable. Tips to remember. You want to tell us about yourself. This is a familiar format with you as the subject. So remember, you're the star of the show, and it's okay to brag. This is when we're hoping you brag. This is your chance to add to your application. So when you're reading what you've written, ask yourself, does this add value to my application? If you're reading it and it doesn't add value, you can remove it. But look for those things that add value. You want to make sure that you start strong and grab the reader. And that doesn't mean that you have to be funny or witty or do something different. Sometimes starting strong is by having a strong, concise message about what you hope for your future and how you hope to achieve that. And this is why you hope to do that. And what has motivated you to be this person. You want to make sure that you have a point, and then also you want to make sure that you answer the prompt. Reread that prompt hundreds of times to make sure that you actually answer it. There's a lot of times people will get caught up in just writing and then they haven't answered the prompt. And so what it shows is that you're not actually following the directions, and the prompt is what they want to know about you. So this is a quote from an admission officer's. In the 10 to 15 minutes that we have your file, we better get the point. So they don't have a lot of time to go through everyone's application as thoroughly as you do when you review it. So make sure that you follow those tips and grab their attention Make sure that you shine and you convey that point that you're going to be an excellent addition to their college campus. 5 myths that you should keep in mind is don't worry that you have to write something that no one else has ever written. Not true. There also, it's a myth that there's a right answer to every question. It is a myth that you have to be funny, clever, or wacky. Not true. And it's a myth that you have to write this essay alone. No. Get feedback, ask for input, make sure that you're on the right track. And it's a myth that your essay alone can get you into any school. It can help your application because it's adding value, but it's not going to be the only thing that gets you into a school. Some common mistakes is thinking of admissions committee as stuffy old people you need to impress. No, they're actually really nice people. Some of them are closer to your age than mine, and they're called admission officers because they want to admit you. So they're actually excited to read your application. Another mistake, trying too hard to be memorable. No, just worry about being authentic. Writing a predictable or generic essay. Don't do it. Forgetting that counselors, teachers, parents are your allies in this experience. We are here to support you. We're excited and we're accessible. So make those phone calls, emails, ask, and we're always happy to help you. Another mistake is forget about what should I say. Instead, focus on what don't they know about me. So what's the most important thing about you that you need to make sure that these college admissions knows? And that's what you keep the focus on. Lastly, I really want you to know that you're already amazing. You're seniors, you are wrapping up your basic education. So your value and worth is not dependent on admission to one particular school. And there's a team of experts ready and willing to support you. And I really hope that you enjoy this time of self-reflection and discovery, because who you are today is going to be completely different than who you are a year from now. And it's probably the most amazing and spectacular personal growth that you're due in your young life. And we're all excited for you. So if you need any help, please reach out, and thank you for watching.